Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Beastly Bate, coming back at you with another episode of the Bate Escape. Oh man, I've totally missed you guys. It's been a couple of days since I've let out a podcast. Um, and thank you, by the way, for all your well wishes. I got all your tweets and Snapchats, and yes, it was a minor tooth mouth situation that wasn't very pleasant, but was able to get some meds, and now I'm all definitely better. But yeah, thank you so much. And again, thank you for being here. I also want to say thank you so much for everyone's been sending me really cool messages and DMs on social. And if you aren't following me on social, you probably should. You're missing out on some cool stuff. Twitter, Snapchat, new Tumblr, all under Beastly Bader. And Instagram too. Just started that. It's private. Just add me and I'll accept. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, thank you so much for all the wonderful like DMs and messages. Like I know I don't post them out of respect, and you want to remain anonymous, and I know a lot of you have asked me to do that, but I've gotten so many, you guys, and it's really encouraging to keep continuing to do these episodes, and it's fun for me. So as long as you guys keep listening to them, as long as you guys, I love when you guys ask me questions about the podcast on Twitter and social. Like, it's really fun for me to begin to start like a dialogue and a healthy communication with like brothers all over the world. Like, I don't know, like I need you guys. Like there's really no one close in my vicinity. Yes, I have a couple baiters, but you guys are it. You guys are the ones I like talk to the most. So don't be quiet. Speak up, and I want to know everything that's going on in your world. Hopefully you guys had a cool couple of 2 weeks. I think that was the last time I did this episode. What are you guys up to? Cool stuff happening, getting shit done. It's awesome. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, well, first of all, let me say I'm not a doctor. I don't have a license to give out like advice. Okay, this is my own real life experience, so take it as you will. Also, to explicit language, explicit material. We're talking about dicks and masturbation here, so let's get into it. I have to immediately stop and apologize to MB Timothy. I recently heard my last episode and I completely misnamed him, and I'm mortified. So MB, if you're listening to this, I 100% apologize for doing that. You have been a go-to. You might not have never agreed to it, but I can honestly say you've been a mentor to me through the material and your Twitter that you post out. Brothers, if you're not following MB Timothy, you got to do it on Twitter. I think his name is Jackoff Stroke. Hold on, I'm gonna find this because I don't want to mess this up again. Let me do it. You guys, he's so cool. Like he's literally one of the first people that I looked up to when I started baiting. I think I found his book like on the cover of the baitworld.com homepage, and it's really good. Okay, so his handle is Stroke JO Club, and his name is Melbourne Bader 18 plus. He's amazing. Go look him up, you guys. Go read his books. I read his first book, or one of his first books, called Real Men Masturbate, which is really cool. He just basically asked the question if he masturbates too much, and the answer was no, obviously. I also did pick up his newest book called Cedar, an ode to masturbation. So I'm really excited to read that with a couple of other books. What am I reading right now? I am reading The Joy of Solo Sex by Dr. Harold Litton. Just recently picked that up. And also to The Joy of Self-Pleasuring by Edward L. Rowan, MD. So yeah, those are a couple of books that I'm reading on masturbation if you guys are interested. What's been happening? I feel like a lot. There's so much I wanted to talk about, but I get here and I kind of forget. I'm sorry, dudes. Oh, you know what? Well, it's so fresh in my mind. I was able to hang out. Okay, so a little context and history. So I met this, I guess you can call him straight daddy, on a Grinder app, and he was like looking for someone to like orally worship, and I was like, yeah, cool, let's do this. So it's we've had a really great relationship. We've seen each other for the past couple of months. We took a break between COVID, but I think we're back in a groove now. But I gotta say, I want to kind of reference back to my last episode on body dysmorphia and how real it is for a lot of men. It's real. Like, it's not a lie. Like, I'm not making shit up. So this daddy, he's a good looking guy, Mexican. I love that. So hot. And he, I would say probably like maybe in his early 40s. He has a son, a young son. So, he had a child pretty early on in his life. And lives in by himself in the hood. And I go visit him, and like lately, like I feel like our past two interactions, like he's always commenting about his weight, which I find really bizarre because I'm like, I'm in the moment, right? So I'm like, I'm very verbal, like with my bait buds or like with the men that I hook up with, and it's just like, verbal affirmations, right, guys? It's probably my number one love language. But I'm telling him like, oh, you're so hot, like, oh, I'm so fucking lucky to be here with you. Like, fuck, you're such a good dad. Like, you hold it down. You're so good, right? English and Spanish. And he's always like either deflecting or like straight up be like, nah, you're lying, I'm fat. And I'm just like, wait, what? And so one day I called him on it, and I was like, why would you think I was lying about that? Like, you were very sexy to me. Like, first of all, you're not fat. Like, he's a normal daddy. Like, sure, like as you get older, you get a little fuller, but it looked good. Like, he's toned, right? So he's not at all what he thinks in his mind is fat. So I told him, I was like, I don't, and I told him straight out, I called him on his shit, and I was like, I don't appreciate when I tell you these really nice things that I feel that I'm saying to you to turn you on, and then all I get back is, you think you're fat. Like, that's not sexy to me. Like, that's not nice to me. Like, I want to make you feel good, and when you say things back like that, it makes you feel bad. So he kind of got it. I mean, he's like a straight guy, so he doesn't really share his feelings. Or at least this guy doesn't talk much. But he was like, yeah, I apologize or whatever. But it's like happening again, and I don't know how to call him on it, like through text. I'll be like, hey, sexy, like I miss you, what are you doing? And he'll just be like, oh, I'm working out because I'm so big, I'm getting bigger, I haven't like worked out since quarantine. I'm just like, why does every text or conversation have to do anything with your weight? I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, maybe I do understand. I mean, maybe I'm guilty of that too. Like, you're always so hyper aware of like how you look, and you get self-conscious, but then it's just like, well, where the fuck does that come from? Like, fucking all this shit that I'm watching on fucking social media. Stop. Take a break off social media, okay? I did it for like, how long did I take a break for? I took a break for like October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, I took a break from social media for about 4.5 months. It was one of the best things I ever did to myself. It was I got so much shit done, and it just felt so much better about myself. I just had a really great edge session before this podcast. Like, it's fucking good, you guys. I feel like it just keeps getting better. Like, I don't know. I do know what I'm doing. I don't know. Are you guys interested in like a coaching something? I feel like I'm not. I don't know. I feel like I'm not there as a coach yet. Like, I feel like there's still so much more to learn. But I guess that's life, right? You just gotta fucking do it. Like, it's always gonna change and get better. You just gotta bite the bullet. All right, I'm definitely starting to OnlyFans. I know. I don't even know if you guys fucking care, but it's coming. I just have to, do more stuff for it. But yeah, I think also too, like, being in a new space. So I'm recording this podcast from like my brand new apartment, which is really fun for me. So And I moved in with someone that I really love and like feel completely 100% uncomfortable with, and it makes a huge difference. Like my last place, I had no privacy. Like people were, I just didn't have any privacy. Um, and I feel like I was like holding back a lot. Like a lot of my orgasms, like I would be really silent. Um, but I find myself now like in this space where I can actually like be vocal. Like I'm really verbal when I bait. Like I'm training. That's what it is. Like I feel like I've been doing masturbation for so long. Now I'm just like, what else can I do? Like how far can I push this edge? um, and I swear to God, you guys, I'm not trying to make shit up, but like I've been having really great dry orgasms. And those of you baiters out there, oh, hold on, my leg hurts. I'm like sitting on the floor of my bedroom. I don't have a desk yet, you guys. If you guys know where I can find like a really nice white inexpensive desk, let me know, because I'm just still trying to get situated here. Anyway, what's it talking about? God, I forget what all these things that I'm talking about. Oh yeah, dry orgasms. That's all training. Like that's only really happened recently, that I've been having like these dry orgasms. And someone wanted to ask me, like, how do you do that? Like, how do you achieve that? And I'm just like, practice. Also, too, here's a coach lesson for me. Like, I don't know if this will be helpful or applies, but I think and I know I've been guilty of this too in the past. Like when we start to bait and we're really fantasizing what really turns us on, and maybe you don't have this problem, but I certainly did. There's a lot of like guilt and shame, um because you want to go there with yourself, like you want to push it to the like the most nastiest, filthiest, like extreme porn mental picture that you possibly can, like in order to get there, like whatever it is to you, like go there, like just like know that it's like a fantasy. But I don't know, like maybe it could be a reality for you, and depending on what that is, go for it. Like if it gets, you know, a little too seedy, you might want to pull back. But I'm you can do whatever the fuck you want. We're all adults here. But I mean, that's my advice to you. Like I think of something in the when I used to, in past bait session a couple years ago, like I would stop right before it got really nasty in my head, because I just felt a lot like shame. Like I was like, oh my God, what if people find out what I'm thinking? People are gonna think I'm a fucking freak. Um, but then I was just like, but this is my beat. Like this is my time. This is my solo time. I could do this in private. I'm just in my head. I'm in my body. I'm in my space, and I could just do whatever I want. I own my space. And I think when I started putting that into practice, then everything just really enhanced. Like every single way. Like I'm trying to capture it on film, but I don't know how. Like I kind of get nervous because I feel like I'm being watched. That's another part of my training. I think I have to start. Well, I've been doing this thing where I set up my iPhone and I'll switch it to an image. And you know how like it's a live image. You can actually see what you're doing in the frame of the iPhone. I won't record or I won't take a picture, but I'll just watch myself, in real time that way. And I'm trying to train myself to like find more beautiful things about my body and like turn myself on. Essentially what I'm trying to do is like make myself the porn and wean off like other porn. Um, that's just something I got to do now. Other guys got it earlier. I'm getting now. It's all a fucking life journey. Cool. All right. That was a good little fun catch up. I feel like there's more stuff to talk about. I just can't think about it right now. Maybe I can save it for like another thing. Oh, okay. Probably one of the more important things. I am doing a giveaway on Twitter, and it's still up. The giveaway ends on August 11th, which is my birthday, and so I decided that this year I'm turning 38. Yeah, I know. And I wanted to like give back because I kind of feel like I've gone like I've I'm living this new authentic reality that feels really good to me, and I just want to celebrate that with people that understand what I'm talking about, or understand who we are. So, yeah. So check out my pin tweet. It's a giveaway for Bateworld.com via their Helping Hands sponsorship, and I'm gonna buy someone a 180-day membership to the site, so you can take advantage of all their content, which I think is like entering the vid chat, starting a blog, starting your own group, invisible mode, stuff like that. So there's really cool stuff that you can do when you have a membership. So yeah, you gotta do is follow me, like it, and then retweet it so other brothers can see, and then you automatically enter, and I'll pick somebody out for a contest. Fun, right? It's a win-win. If it does well, I'll be more inclined to do more of those. It'll be really cool. Let's see. Well, Bait World did actually reach out to me. I actually wrote an essay for them. They were gonna try to put it up for the month of August, but I think they missed the deadline. I'm not too sure. I'm sure they'll let me know. Sorry, hope you don't hear kids in the background. I was gonna say, oh yeah, so Bait World reached out to me, and they asked me to do like an essay for them. So I wrote this piece about what sexuality means to me, and I don't know when it's going to be up, but I'm sure they'll let me know, and then I'll let you guys know so you guys can read it. Cool stuff. Cool. So we're going to talk about today. Oh yeah, so I wrote this. I mean, I wrote this for the last, for what was going to be the last episode, which I didn't get to do because I was not feeling well. But the topic that I want to discuss was how soulless sexuality has enhanced my attraction to different types of men. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in time. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna be just fully transparent with this story because I I know that you guys are holding me in a safe space. This is a safe space to talk about, all things sex, and there's no room here for judgment or shame. So just go there with me, okay, guys? So the reason why I wanted to talk about this was because I believed I was brainwashed into thinking that only a certain type of guy was beautiful, sexy, um, worthy of being obtained and being in a relationship with. And I think that, okay, I know that's a lot. If you need time to process that, be my guest. But this all really started when, so I identify as gay, he, him. When I kind of first began going into the scene, or when I first, no, not really the scene, but when I first really started to um, navigate like the gay world, right? So you're like really young, and like the internet had just come out. And you're kind of like, oh, let me go online and like see what all this gay stuff is about. And like everything I remember so vividly, everything that I ever saw was cis white masculine muscular, like those are, I remember having those images kind of just always come at me. And like, you'd go to, you're first going out to the bars and you're first going out to the clubs, well, bars because you're younger then, but they have like those free like gay magazines, and like on the cover of these magazines, like that was what I saw again. And so I I started like training my mind to only respond to these kind of images, and then that transcended and that transpired to me only choosing those type of men. And when I look back now, like in my, like probably all of my 20s, that I really unfortunately had that perspective, and it really sucked because like I can remember like being proud of my culture. Yes, I've always been proud of being Mexican American. Um, but it just pains me to say that I just never was sexually attracted to them. And when I I don't have an answer for you. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why. Because I had a lot of self-hate. And so everything about me is very Mexican. And I think that that self-hate transpired to the people around me. So it's like, oh, if I don't even like the way I look, why would I find someone else that looks like me attractive? Which is really fucked up. And I'm over it now. Which is where this conversation is going, because I don't want you to still think that I think that way. But lately, in my masturbation, like I've decided to really. So this is a conscious effort that I had to make. Like I had to train my mind. I'm essentially rewiring my brain to think and believe that all different races are sexy. So, um, I made a conscious effort to tell myself, okay, today I'm going to watch only like Latino porn. Today I'm only going to watch black porn. Today I'm only going to watch like Asian porn. Today I'm only going to watch like trans porn. Like I just was just like, I like set it in my mind, in my calendar, to be like, you're going to do this like day after day until your body physically responds. Like I think I trained myself so hard that I wouldn't even get aroused at that type of imagery. So it really is like me training my brain to see the beauty um, in my own culture, and in the culture of other ethnicities as well. And I think again that goes back to like self. That's how it goes. That's how it always ties back to masturbation. It's like self love. You're self loving yourself, and when you self love yourself. Excuse me. I got a lot in my mind going on. Um, you begin to love all of you. So then now I'm really starting to love like my curly hair, my brown skin, like my dark dick. Like I have a brown dick, like my accent. Like I have a little bit of like a Mexican accent when I speak sometimes. And I'm really cherishing and really finding like my this Mexican masculinity that I either shot away from or was scared of when I was younger. I'm really embracing it now, which allows me to explore, other different kinds of porn. But that goes beyond that because it really just allows me to explore different type of men. Um, and that's what I've encountered on Bait World or being a baiter, solo sexual, like being that authentic self to everyone else. Like I've met so many different types of baiters, like black baiters, Asian, Indian, Polynesian, New Zealand, Japanese, Chinese, like I can tell. I can't even go into like how many races I've encountered like on Twitter and Snapchat. Like it's amazing. Like it's so great that I'm able to just be like, I don't have this weird barrier between myself, my own culture, and the cultures of others. Like I can infiltrate and really absorb like what they're bringing to the table. You know, um, like especially now with like Black Lives Matters, like it affected me so profoundly, and I was just like so like I was just like what like that's all I'm gonna watch, like that's all I want to do, that's all I want to support. So I was like paying for like black owned porn like on OnlyFans and like anywhere that I could see it, X videos, X hamster, Pornhub, like I would just like watch and constantly be like I need to watch this because this is important to me because I love black men and um I love that I'm able to identify what is wrong. Well, not what is wrong, but what the roadblock has been that hasn't allowed me to engage in this open way, which I think is always like the first problem, right? I might have said this before, but the first step to recovery is telling yourself that you have a problem. Like, if you don't understand like that there's an issue with you, then there's no way that you could actually get the help you need, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, so I've trained my mind to look past it and find other qualities arousing. Yeah, that's cool. What am I seeing here? So, oh, right. So, like, um, I think for me, like, How do I explain this? Like now, so not only has like accepting myself allowed me to accept, my Mexican brothers and other brothers of different races. I've also learned or training myself to kind of see past this, the aesthetics of who I'm with. I'm trying to find other qualities from the men that I interact with to fuel my bait rather than, oh, like, he's so like physically he's so hot, like he has a great body or a great face or a big dick. Like I want to be able to like train myself to be like, oh, he's really sexy because he has a big hairy belly, or he's really sexy because his skin tone is really dark and it's like a beautiful shade of like black, or you know he's really sexy because when he's really horny he talks to me in Korean. So like I'm trying to like rewire my brain into believing that other qualities about a brother are equally as sexy to me, and then train my dick to respond to those things. I mean, because essentially when I'm with, like, I'm a really passionate baiter. Um, and I've said this to friends in the past. Like, sometimes I feel like my passion is mistaken for desperation, and that's not the case. I'm just a passionate guy. So, when I'm baiting, like, it's a full body experience. Like, I want to touch things, I want to kiss things, I want to suck things, I want to lick things, I want to play with things, I want to talk about things. So like it's very I personally make it a mission to have a well-rounded bait experience because that's the kind of sex that I really enjoy. Um and there's been men that have really accepted that and have had some really fucking great times. And then there's been times where I've been rejected mid-sex and be like, hey, look, like stop talking this shit. Like I just want to fuck. That was probably one of the hardest ones to deal with because I was like, damn, bro, you gonna fucking do me like that? Um, but yeah, like those have been like my those have been my difference experiences. I mean, it's really fun to. I just find it a joy to like always continuously find new attractive things about another male. Like I've I've just built this world of like solo sexuality in my mind of like penis pride. Like I'm very much prideful of being a man. I'm very proud to have like a big hairy dick between my legs. I'm proud to have big man feet. I'm proud to have like facial hair. Like that's my that's my lifestyle. And it wasn't always that. Um it wasn't this at all actually. Like I think when you first come out, like you're so like, oh, like let's fucking gay it up, and you're experimenting with all this shit, and that's cool too. um and you ultimately you kind of just find your way. And I think that's where I am now. Like I feel like I've had this really interesting like evolution of like gayness in my life that's like led me to like trying to live my life in this like hyper masculine um, soul sexuality. Not toxic, just masculine, you know, without the toxic. I want to make that very clear. Um, but like everything about me, like, yeah, I'm gonna go fucking buy size 13 shoes. Like, I'm proud of that shit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking trim my chest hair. Like, that's fucking sex to me. Um, it's really cool. And I'm not ashamed of my past of who I was. Like I think that's all been a journey, and that's a really fun, cool journey. And I wish I'd like documented it more and been like, oh yeah, like I'm really into this right now, and then like a couple of years later, hear myself be into something completely different. I think it's really cool to like see that evolution of who you are. But yeah, like relishing in my own manhood brings me curiosity about the manhood of so many different types of men. Um, even when I go, like, I see it still now when I'm like updating my new Tumblr, with bait fuel, like it's very white to me. And white is sexy. Yes, I like white guys. I've dated white guys. I've had sex with white guys. Baited with white guys. Um, but I think I'm really happy uh, enjoying the fact that I'm able to just kind of wallow in my own culture. Like I feel like I denied it for so long, and I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do. Um, so if you guys want to, look at really sexy Latino porn, like go to bylatinmen.com, go to latinboys.com, follow them on Twitter and social, like inundate yourself with like images of like other cultures. And I feel like as you continue to explore that, like you'll only get more attracted and like train your body to respond to those things. Um, but I think for me, even now, like I don't know, like I feel like I might be like a whole like on this whole like energy spiritual vibe because I'm just like even when I'm with like a bait bro, like I don't know, like, man, like if hopefully someone can relate to me, but I've had these really intense like bait sessions with bros where it's just like they're not even a body anymore. We're just like this male energy like transferring shit through each other's bodies. Like it's just radiating off the both of us, and you're just kind of like riding this like weird field of like sexual like male energy. I know it can sound a little, you know, a little hippie, but it's true. Like if you've never tried it, like I really suggest you guys practice with your bait bros. Like my advice is to like don't be afraid to like be intimate. I think that's kind of been something that I've noticed for the past couple of bait bros that I've like encountered. Like I think so it's important to like recognize the type of bait bro that you are and like able to effectively communicate that to others because people are going to be in it for it or not. Um and I think I've always done that myself. Anytime someone reaches out to me and is like, hey, like you're so sexy, like let's bait. And I'm just like, sure, like what's your style? What are you into? And I let people know I'm like, I'm a very like again, I'm a very passionate baiter. I like to do a lot of things, a lot of physical things with my brother because to me, it's hot to be really intimate. Like personally for me, like making out is probably one of the best ways to get me rock hard. I love it. I love having that interaction orally and being able to like taste your bro. So like I ask people all the time. I'm like, do you kiss? Because a lot of guys don't, and they're just like, yeah, your name. And I'm just like, you know. Um, but what I'm trying to effectively say is don't don't be afraid to kind of lose all your inhibitions. If you're in a safe space with someone and they're allowing you to be your authentic, sexy self, like go there. Like it's such a golden opportunity because not a lot of people get it. Um, it's like when you feel the most sexy, the most safe, the most secure, the most confident, the most wanted with your bro, just be there. Like throw sexual orientation out the window, throw sex roles out the window. You're just men together in a space, being vulnerable and being sexual. That's all it is in that moment. And then once you're done, finished, satisfied, y'all can just go back to the lives or whatever, whatever you identify as. But like, I always just try to capture that moment whenever I can because it's really special. And that's always my goal, always when I'm with a bait bro. Because I'm very much into brotherhood mentality. Like, I want my bro to have a really fucking good time. Like, I will, supply my bro with weed. I will feed him poppers to huff on. Like that's what I like. It's an act of service, and I feel like that can turn me on in a lot of ways, especially someone who doesn't have as much experience. Oh man, that's kind of it's really fun. If you guys have never baited with someone that's like a newbie, we should make up a word for like what's a good word for like a newbie, a baiter baby. No, baby sounds weird. I don't like that word. A baiter BB. BB, not baby, but BB. Maybe I don't know. I'll have to work on that one. But someone who doesn't have much experience and like you got all the experience, like control that shit. Like really show him what's up. Like take that boy for a ride. Like I love being able to show men like what their dicks can really do. It's great. It gets me off so much. It's amazing. Oh man. I gotta get on that actually. Um that might happen soon. I have a couple of bros that have hit me up. It's all work in progress. Mm, I'm talking to a guy from Hinge that got really curious about my soul sexuality. That was really cool. We've been texting on and off for a little bit. I'll give you guys an update on that one the next time I record a podcast. But yeah, hope everyone's doing really well. I'm really happy to be able to bring this podcast back. Like again, I said I love talking to you guys about masturbation, and so long as you guys keep listening, I'll keep making them. Um, yeah, cool, cool chat. I think that was really good. I really enjoyed that convo. I am BC Bader. You can follow me on social. You know what those are. Don't forget about that giveaway that I'm running. Go check out my pinned tweet over on Twitter. Go ahead and enter that. It's a really cool prize. And shout me out. Let me know what's going on. Send me a sexy snap. Send me a cool tweet. I'm listening. I always, do my best to try and respond and interact because that's the point of social media, right? Yeah. Cool. All right, boys. I wish you all a happy day, happy evening, happy night. And I will catch you on next episode. Later.